actually had a meeting with Cradle to Cradle 2 weeks ago, and the supplier list is growing. So, it's like when you're a pioneer in something new, it's like challenging, but it gets better and better. And I was like quite excited. I didn't have the time yet to check all the suppliers because it was year end and we had to look at other things, but it's growing. And before, the suppliers were mainly in Europe. And maybe this was very interesting to us. All our suppliers for the collection that we did are based mainly in Switzerland, Austria, and Germany, which was very handy for us because we could drive there. It was very handy. But now I can also see that in Asia, suppliers are popping up. So it's growing. I hear that in Portugal, there are more options. So it's a step by step. And this is maybe one thing that I've learned, and what I've loved actually in the journey, is to really understand that any sustainability journey is a step-by-step thing. It's customers and everyone needs to understand that it's not like, let's do an product which is Cradle to Cradle certified. No, it's like you build a car, Mercedes also, or BMW or whatever. They took a long time to innovate, to bring the cars on the market that you see now. And this is the same thing in the textile industry. It goes step by step. We will launch now, for example, products with prints. And we just learned as well to be patient and
No, absolutely. And I think it is about that sort of integration over time, and doing those agile experiments, I suppose, in a way. You said this is kind of like a project to start off with, and then now it's growing into something that people, a full-on brand that you can get into. But it's not easy for a customer to see face value what they're looking at, especially not with if you don't understand the cradle to cradle work, and a lot of people inside of the sustainability space sometimes don't know what that is either, because circularity has been brought into the more language, right? So interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, Rachel, it points up a couple of things. One, as I've probably already said today, we didn't get to where we are today in one design iteration, so we won't get to where we want to be in one design iteration. So this idea of continuous improvement is fundamental, that every new collection should be better than the last one. If the first one was bronze, the next one should be silver, and so on. And I think you also have to really start at the beginning. We're going to be talking in a little while with Dr. Cowan from the Buckminster Fuller Institute, and I'll be talking to him about design science. Well, the word design is in there, and science, which is partly what's behind the Cradle to Cradle. It's a combination of Bill McDonough design and Michael Braungart science, right? I mean, that's sort of how that came together. And it is a design process, and it has to be done from the beginning. There are limitations to what you can do with an existing product because you've already set the specification when you designed it originally. So redesigning it is a different challenge than starting from scratch. But both have their ups and downs, as Heike said.
Yeah, absolutely. So how does Wallicious ensure that its materials, such as innovative elastane, and are both safe for biological systems and functional for this active wear? Because it's when I've been working with our ecosystem members on this, they're in the lingerie and the activewear space. They always say they have such difficulty with the elastics and the pullback and things like that. How do you make it so that it's still functional for the activewear market?
Well, I mean, first of all, the first question is like, of course, we can only work with an elastane which is Cradle to Cradle certified. And it took us 3 years to do the fabric, and 2 suppliers couldn't weave the fabric with the elastane because the elastane just reacts in the weaving process completely different. So we would always get see-through fabric back.